back to Daybreak Africa on Captain Television. It's no news that the world at large is facing a global pandemic which has affected major sectors of the world. As a result of this, all schools are on lockdown now till further notice pending when the global pandemic will be over. Today, we'll be discussing the impact of the global pandemic on the educational sector in Nigeria. And to do this with us today is a business developer, a publisher, and also a teacher in person of Mr. Samson Fadelia. Welcome to the show, sir.
Welcome to the show. Thank you very much.
Okay, Samson, before we delve into the issue of the coronavirus and the educational sector, can we hear your opinion on the educational sector of Nigeria?
Well, the issue is for every nation, it is known that for intellectual development, development in every aspect, let me put it that way, education is needed. And that is why every country, no matter how big or small, will find a means to put together a sector called education sector.
Okay.
Put ministries together to take care, put plans in place, put curriculum, take care of teachers, take care of buildings and stuff like that, to have their children educated and develop them into adults that can take responsibility for things and their situations and development in any nation. And so that is why a sector will always be in every nation called educational sector. Okay,
let's look at Nigeria's educational sector now. Okay. What is your opinion on Nigeria's educational sector itself?
Well, up until now, Nigeria is still developing. So we will take it from that aspect. I want to say, since Nigeria is a developing country, everything about Nigeria is developing. So it might not be very perfect, but it's still developing. Up until now, in the education sector, so many things are not yet in place. We will not overlook that. But notwithstanding, Nigeria is developing. Do you understand now? That up until now, in the field of education, we still have so many challenges and issues. The field of education had not been professionalized. You know, anybody can just badge in, teach, and go out. It's not supposed to be
like that.
Just like the health sector, where you cannot just come without being certified as a doctor to practice. That's how it should be. Education sector should be for professionals. But up until now in Nigeria, we still have that challenge and so many other challenges. But I believe with time, everything is going to be okay.
You mentioned about the sector still in the development level.
Yeah.
And looking at the amount of funds being allocated to this sector, and a lot of investment in terms of monetary investment in the sector.
Yes.
And still, we are still developing. And also from your explanation, I picked where you spoke about having professionals in the field. Some times ago, we had a nationwide rampant sacking of teachers that are unqualified.
Yeah.
How has that taken effect in the sector of education in Nigeria? And still, with my first statement, with the funds being allocated to education, why are we still developing?
Yeah, the issue is it does not really matter how much you decide to put in a project. If it is not well planned, you will not see result for the money. You see, I so much believe in planning. I am a business person. I am an educationist. I understand how much planning, good one, how much they can help you manage resources and give you good results. The issue we have in Nigeria is not about money. The money is there, but they are not
proper planned.
Yes, they are not properly planned for, and the funds that are coming, they are not going to where they actually need to go. So with that, we might not have the actual result that we expect from the funds that are coming. So that one is another issue to be considered.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Samson, looking at the global pandemic now and the educational sector, because when this thing came into Nigeria, the Nigerian government said all schools should be on lockdown till further notice. And I got some information that some schools, they had to quickly, let's say they told them they're going to lock down on Monday. So that was on Thursday. They had to inform the parents that please bring your students, your children to be able to complete their exams within
Examinations.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Because most of them are scared that when the children go home, they might not remember what they've been taught when they come back again.
Yes,
So
yes.
how would you say that this global pandemic has affected the educational
You know,
sector?
it's not the educational sector alone. The pandemic had affected virtually every sector,
Yeah.
the economy, the industrial, the banking sector. So the problem is general. And so if the problem is general, we might have little or nothing to do about educational sector,
Yes.
you know, alone. So because the problem is for everybody. So if there's going to be a solution, it's going to be general solution as well. But in education, generally, there are different sides to education. Education, the way we see them, the part we are talking about now is formal education. Yeah. Meanwhile, education is beyond formal. Education could be informal, could be semi-formal. Depends on the context and the perspective through which we are entering it. As an educationist, I would say education as a word deals with change in behavior that comes as a result of learning, whether it is direct learning, indirect, formal, informal, semi-formal. Now, when you say you are educated, the word being educated means the result of education, that is change in behavior. You know, the change in your normal behavior from who you used to be before to who you are now, because you have passed through some set of experiences. So for the former, they are organized experiences that is passed through curriculum. A curriculum is designed to order the step at which you learn in the formal setting. Meanwhile, in the informal or the non-formal setting, you can learn from home.
Okay.
You can learn anything. In fact, the first set of education you have as a newborn baby is from home. You learn from your parents, from your peers, your siblings, from home. So if you are saying education and the education sector, I want to believe we are talking about the formal education. And there are different aspects of formal education as well that can take care of different things at a time like this.
Okay, at this kind of time, we have all our educational institutions from primary to tertiary. Every aspect of it is on lockdown.
Yeah.
What aspect or what initiative in terms of continuity of learning do you think we have in the country?
Okay.
I mean, as students that are home, be it from primary to tertiary, are they still learning, or they are just busy staying at home and hoping for the lockdown to end, or still hoping for it to continue? Because no matter how we want to hide it, there are some people that only want to go to school.
Yeah, true.
For students as a whole now, what initiative do we have to continue learning? I like the part you mentioned, the informal, that's the home school. What do we have?
What have been put in
place
for learning to continue?
To continue learning in the midst of the lockdown?
You know, the issue is for every sector, there are professionals who look to different aspects of such sector. The issue is in the education sector, there have been plans for things like this. Although they didn't put those plans in place because pandemic will come. They put them in place because they felt in case there are reasons to reach more people because of one situation or the other, and things like distance learning were put in place. Learning that is a structured learning that has a curriculum, but you can still learn from the comfort of your home. You don't have to come to the four wall of the school to learn. And that aspect of education is called distance learning. Yes, you learn from your home through the use of media, the radio, the television, in fact, online, internet. You can go there. There are schools online. You can take their training courses right in the comfort of your home. You take their exams and they award you certificates. So distance learning is the actual kind of learning as a professional I would suggest in a time like this.
Okay, sorry to cut you short, but talking more about that distance learning, you know, when you go to a school and then you're being taught in school, there are teachers there to teach you. They also monitor what you're doing.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can actually teach a child and ask the child, okay, do this assignment. If you don't monitor what the child is doing,
Yes.
the child might not actually do it. So how do you think they're going to achieve that from their homes?
Yes. Thank you for that question. The issue is for every thing, every program you organize as an educationist, there's a point of enlightenment. You don't just go into a program like we have prepared this and we're going to know. There's a way you sit and plan an enlightenment program. That's the first level of education. Before you bring the curriculum into the class, you first enlighten people. Reasons why they should learn that way.
Okay.
And the benefits of learning that way. And if to a reasonable extent you have been able to convince them that they are going to learn a lot of things and that it's going to be beneficial to them and their future, forget about it. People will be very, 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 very attentive to you, and it's going to be a very useful way.
Okay. Using Ondo State as a case study now.
Okay.
It has been said that they are going to use radio as a medium to teach English and mathematics.
Yes.
We can try and understand the aspects of English,
Okay.
but mathematics involves a lot of calculations that even when you are seeing
Formulas,
it, you can be
equations.
confused
Yes.
when your teacher is there teaching you.
Yeah.
So how are they going to actually
How possible is this?
teach these children mathematics through radio without them seeing what is being taught?
Thank you for that question as well. There are different kind of medias. There are different forms. We have the audio media, we have the audio visual. For subjects like mathematics, the basic aspect of mathematics, the numeracy, counting, can still be done on radio.
Okay.
But the advanced aspect of mathematics have to be audiovisual, where you can see the person teaching you,
Where you have the
write
algebra
calculations
and the
on the
likes.
board, solve problems, give examples, you solve them in your places, then come back, make corrections, then you evaluate yourself. It's going to be easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is a means that has been brought about by Ondo State government,
Okay.
and that's what they will actually want to use.
To do, yeah.
So I think before they can actually bring that out, they actually have a plan. Okay, that is how we are going to
Yes.
do it. As a teacher, how do you think that is actually going to be possible? Because you just explained now that we need visuals,
Yes.
but they're not including visuals. Some people are saying that it's because even a poor man has access to radio.
Radio,
Not
yeah.
everybody has access to TV.
Yes, there is a part of distance learning that we've not really spoken about.
Okay.
Now, distance learning started in the early 21st century when we began to have radio stations and television stations and stuff like that. Those media, before that time, we used to have printed media, newspaper and other printed media. But when this new technology arrived, they had to like look into it from the perspective of education. Normally, radio stations are supposed to bring news to people. It's a form of education as well. Let's put it that way, no matter how informal it is.
Okay.
Because bringing information to you gets you informed about the world. And that is a form of education on its own. So, and if religious bodies, the church, the mosque, can come and use radio stations and television stations to teach their beliefs, and which I believe is a form of education on its own as well, then the education sector as well can use the same media to teach subjects. Do you understand now? To students, and they will understand. Now, the motive behind distance learning is to reach out to larger audience, the populace that cannot be accommodated in a 4-wall class. And the advantage is that it gets them to move at the same pace, because virtually all of them learn directly from the same teacher using the same curriculum. Do you understand now? So it makes education uniform. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It makes it uniform. They are using the same curriculum. It's not as if the one in Ondo West local government is different from Ondo East. And since it is the same radio station that takes care of that, the learning will be uniform, and all of them will grow at the same pace. Do you understand now? And those are the reasons behind distance learning in the first place, to be able to gather, a larger audience, to be able to reach out to larger amount of students, then to ensure a uniform level of development, then as well to, how do I put it now, to make sure that non-completer of formal education can as well continue. You know, some of our parents went to, probably they were a chance to go to primary school, and they were not opportune to attend secondary schools. From distance learning, they can as well continue from where they stopped. So it's not going to be for students. It's not going to be for younger ones alone. It's still going to help the adults who were not able to, at a point, complete formal education. So it's going to help them continue at least from where they stop. It will refreshing their memory, and it will bring them at least a bit back into class, give them the memory of the class, then how it used to be. And if they are serious with it, forget about it, they grow. They are going to learn one way or the other.
Okay, I'm quite interested in this initiative of using the media to teach. How accessible is it to everybody? We have, looking at Ondo State particularly, we have we have the urban areas, we have the rural areas, and I've been opportune to go to some rural areas, and as basic as electricity is, you can't find it in such locations. And some of these people, they are farmers and they are petty traders. People that are more concerned about how to go to the farm and get food. Some of them may not have the TV media, some of them may not have the radio. How do we intend? This is just an initiative that we are introducing now. It has not been in existence. Some of these students, these kids at home, and some of their parents are not even informed that, okay, the state government is thinking of such initiative. How do you get to reach out? How do you get to reach this information to them, or to make provision for them? I'm talking about people that don't have these amenities, people that cannot afford a radio, television, electricity as a whole.
The issue is, I want us to see it from this perspective. Now, the reason why the state government is more concerned about using radio is because radio is more available than the television. Those areas that do not have access to electricity might not be able to have a TV set. But they will always, even if it is a transistor radio that uses battery, they will have one. Now, radio frequency travels, you know, so they can easily have access to radio. Even if they cannot have television, they will have access. Even if it is just a transistor radio, they will still have access to it and gather children. Even if it is just one, a lot of people can use one. Like about 12 people, 15 people are still okay with one if the volume is loud enough for them to hear. Yes, they can. They can. And the issue is the instruction comes. Those that planned it, they know the way they will do it, such that they will be able to carry their audience along. There are slow learners, there are fast learners. All those things would have been put into consideration while developing the curriculum to manage this thing, while planning how it will be structured. Now, these classes, we might have them like 2 or 3 times before we move to the next class. Like have it in the morning, still repeat the same class like 12 o'clock, then repeat that same class like 5 o'clock in the evening. Like those that will go to farm in the morning, there will not be chance to listen to it. They will come back in the afternoon. If there are no chance to listen to it in the afternoon, they will still have it in the evening. And at least up to like 60% of them will have the chance to listen to it twice out of the 3 times.
Okay.
That's nice.
But don't you think that there will be a limitation to what they can actually teach these children on radio compared to TV? And also, since they're going to be having different days, I don't know how they're going to schedule the curriculum. Maybe you can enlighten us. There are people, I might be in just 4, you might be in just 2, you might be in just 3. We don't have the same syllabus. We have different syllabus. So how are they going to put all these things into consideration and be able to teach everybody based on their different classes. Because if you are saying, you mentioned something about the radio earlier, that they might do the normal numeracy and calculations and all of that. Someone in SS3 is not meant to be doing that right now. It could be for something for someone in primary 1.
Okay.
So how do you think that
How
they're
do you
going
reach
to
out to
Now,
handle that?
the issue is what the state government is trying to do now is not to teach the actual curriculum of each classes
Okay.
on radio.
Okay.
What they are trying to do is to keep these people in line of education, to make sure they are still not living, they are not getting out, no matter how serious the issue is, no matter how thick the lockdown is, those people still have their mind on something related to education.
Okay.
These things, majority of the time, they are going to be more of general studies than being specific about one. Do you understand now? So there are some studies in education. We call them general studies. If you are familiar with the education faculty of probably the university you graduated from, you will know there are some courses, they call them GSC, General Service Course. Those courses, they are more of humanity, more of a bit of science, a bit of family living, a bit of, that's how they pack them together and make them general studies. Now, they will now put English, Nigeria being an English-speaking country, Anglophone, they will put English, then they will put numeracy, mathematics separately, then they will now make the rest general studies. So today, they'll come, talk about family living.
Okay.
Today, tomorrow, they come, they talk about social interaction of people.
Okay.
That one will teach you a bit of sociology, then to be related with science, how the environment affects the social interaction of human being, how relief and how plains and mountains can affect this. It's a form of education on its own, and it keeps you in line. So that when you come back to the structured school, it will not be as if you have gone out of education totally. It will still, so your brain will still be functioning.
Yeah,
you will still be
enlightened.
You will still be imagining yourself in the scope, within the scope of school.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. So we can practically say that for what he explained to us, the main idea is for us to still be enlightened. Not like we still not want to follow our normal curriculum.
Lastly, I just want to ask, aside this initiative, what else would you suggest government should do about developing or still improving education at this time of the outbreak? What initiative can we develop again? Because now we are talking about general studies. We're reaching people in primary education, talking about people that are in tertiary institutions, doing degree programs, master programs. What initiative can we have that will also boost their education at this period of the outbreak?
Thank you for that question. It's a very good question. If the Ministry of Education will look into this very well, they will discover that majority of the universities in Western world, they have they have a whole faculty that deals with distance learning. What they do is, all their courses that are available in each of their departments, they still bring them online to teach students, even those that are not from their country. One, they make money from it. Two, they reach larger audience. And three, they make people learn in the very easy way and be useful for themselves and be able to contribute even to the development of their immediate community. Now, Harvard University will do that, put programs on leadership, put program on business development, put program on accounting, put program on web development, web design, and people go there, they pay huge amount of dollars to learn all these things and earn certificate. So I want to implore the Ministry of Education in this country, if they can actually sit down and put a well-structured plan in handling these things. In fact, it will be of more help to the non-completer of formal education. Those that were not able to really complete formal education, it will give them opportunity. Although there are things like that already, the Open University, they are not enough. I have to be sincere with you. These things, they are not enough to really put those structures in place. Each of these universities, Obafemi Awolowo is there, Nigerian University in Nsukka is there, all those universities, they can as well put an arm that place them on the internet, put courses there that people can sit down from the comfort of their home. People are not, they don't mind paying as soon as they are going to learn basic things that will help them develop. Intellectually, they will develop personally. In fact, it will serve as a means to improve the way we see things in Nigeria especially.
Okay.
There will be an improvement, and it's going to be drastic because people are not informed about majority of the things around them. It's not because they don't want to be informed, it's because the opportunity is not there. And majority of them cannot go back into the four walls of schools and say they want to sit down because they have so many other things to take care of. Okay. Family is there, job is there, everything. So things like that will give them opportunity. They will find time, sit down at the comfort of their home, and they are going to improve, learn, and earn more certificates.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
enlightening time
yes.
discussing with you on the show. Thank you for sharing more light on.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, man.
All right, so we're going on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll be winding down on the show. Stay with us.
Coronavirus, it's rampaging the whole world as we speak.
Do not share your personal items.
The virus can be in the air. Be more careful. Corona doesn't jump on people.
It has a longer incubation time and it may get worse faster.
Avoid shaking hands and hugging people. Please be safe.
To stay safe, always clean and disinfect your surfaces.
Self-isolation due to possible coronavirus exposure is very, very important.
I have my gloves with me and I have my mouth guard.
Coronavirus. A preventive measure is to take social distancing seriously, even among family and friends. Stay safe.
Whenever you cough or sneeze, always make sure that your mouth and nose are covered. Your safety is paramount.
You may not exhibit the COVID-19 symptoms, you can still spread the virus.
Wash your hands frequently and carefully and avoid touching your face.
We may also want to know why these measures are very important.
You know, you have to practice proper hygiene, follow simple guidelines, and encourage your friends and family to follow the same guidelines as you do. This will go a long way to ensure that we stop and curtail the spread of this virus. You can also stay updated on Captain Television by following us on all our social media sites that you can see on your screen. Please stay safe.
This message is from Captain TV. Imagine a beautiful world.